के सिचुएशन क्रिएट करके आते हैं और उस आशियाने को कहते हैं घर और चमन को कहते हैं वो कम्युनिटी जिसके लिए हम काम कर रहे हैं। तो आशियाने से बढ़कर है फिक्रे चमन, आशियाना तो फिर बना लेंगे हम, एक उम्मीद की लौ सलामत रहे, 100 दिए इस दिए से जला लेंगे हम। Many people will get inspired out of this. Many people will get inspired out of the research papers which will be read and which will be presented during the duration of the conference. So ये purpose है conference का. So congratulations to entire organizing committee for having organized, and that too repeatedly. At least since last 2 years I am closely involved. In the last year conference I could not come because I was for some emergency. I had to go out of the station and I was not in there. So thank you so much for having invited me here. Friends, it is said that there is nothing constant in this world except change. There is nothing constant in this world except change. So, if you accept, how many of you agree that there is nothing constant in this world except change? Good numbers. Good, almost everyone. Everyone should agree. You have no choice at all. And that's why I keep on saying that if you do not change up front, the rapidly changing technological ecosystem will change each one of us. Many of the teachers who are here, many students may not be aware, but many of the teachers who are here, or the people of my generation at least, may be knowing that around 15 years ago, not too much, 1.5 decade ago, there was a phone, there was a brand Nokia. Nokia brand is still now Nokia, and it had a feature phone, and carrying 1180 and around 4-5 models of the Nokia feature phone. Carrying that feature phone was a matter of pride, like carrying an iPhone. समझ रहे आप? How many of you have Nokia feature phone? May I have hands? Good. A big round of applause for all 3 of them. I also have a Nokia feature phone, but I'm not carrying with that pride, but have got for emergency, right? So carrying a Nokia feature phone was a matter of pride just 15 years ago. And offer was to adopt and accept Android. Nokia refused it. Why? Nokia heavily believed in the existing strength of the product and didn't realize that दीवारों पे लिखी इबारत change को दावत दे रही है. ये realize नहीं किया. Where is Nokia now? Nokia now has got almost all type of product in their product profiling under Windows environment, under Android environment. But can Nokia take that share which Nokia enjoyed in the around 15 years ago? 80% plus market share. Can Nokia get that share? Absolutely out of question. So this implies that relying on the existing strength of the product, relying on existing robustness of the product, relying on existing customer loyalty for your brand is not the solution. The solution is to change with respect to time, and all these activities which we keep on organizing is part of that change, and the change should also only be welcome. That's why I have connected my 4 पंक्तिस with 2 पंक्तिस of गालिब बड़े शायर हैं, उनकी 2 बड़ी पंक्तियों के साथ मैंने अपनी 4 छोटी-छोटी पंक्तियां जोड़ी हैं कि इंसान घर बदलता है, लिबास बदलता है. हम बदलते हैं ना, इंसान घर बदलता है, लिबास बदलता है, रिश्ते बदलता है, दोस्त बदलता है, फिर भी परेशान क्यों रहता है? क्योंकि हम अपने आप को नहीं बदलते. And that's how the गालिब said in 2 पंक्तिस कि उम्र भर गालिब यही भूल करता रहा, धूल चेहरे पे थी और मैं आईना साफ करता रहा. तो हम चेहरा साफ करेंगे, आईना साफ करेंगे आपसे. ये कहने के साथ मैं ये कहना चाहता हूं कि हम टेक्नोलॉजी को दोष नहीं देंगे. ये बिल्कुल सच है. अभी हम ऑफलाइन इंटरेक्ट कर रहे थे प्रोफेसर प्रेमव्रत साहब से, और वो कह रहे थे एआई एक बहुत ही चैलेंजिंग टेक्नोलॉजी है जो हमारे लिए बून भी हो सकता है और हमारे लिए बहुत बड़ा डिजास्टर भी हो सकता है. इट्स अप टू अस टू यूज इट कि हम किस जुडिशियस तरीके से, किस इंटेलिजेंट तरीके से एआई को यूज करते हैं. और आज जो लोग बहुत सारे ये समझ रहे हैं कि एआई इज गोइंग टू रिप्लेस ह्यूमन, that's not possible. As a student of computer science, having taught computer science for almost 25 years and AI almost for 15 years, I'm telling you AI cannot replace human being. इसका आंसर उसी बात में है जो मैंने अभी बिगिनिंग में बताया कि 1000 many computers put together cannot do the job of one extraordinary person. तो AI ordinary person का काम जरूर करेगा. AI is based on that knowledge base which we create, the domain expertise की जो knowledge हम create करेंगे, लेकिन हमें अपने को up skill करना होगा. हमें अपने को in changing context relevant रखना पड़ेगा. हमें अपने को connected रखना पड़ेगा और हमें वो एक्स्ट्राऑर्डिनरी पर्सन के जो एट्रीब्यूट्स हैं वो अपने अंदर लाने पड़ेंगे, जिनके लिए ऐसे ओकेजन्स हैं, और जो टीचिंग लर्निंग सिस्टम है उसे भी हमें हमेशा एडाप्टेबल बनाना पड़ेगा। दैट्स द पर्पस ऑफ दिस। हैविंग सेड दिस माय डियर फ्रेंड्स, द एआई as a technologist, as a student of computer science, we cannot ignore. So we have to believe into AI. And the diversity and the versatility of AI, understand that at one end it helps the cook or maybe housemakers in the kitchen, and at the other end it helps a lawyer in the court. So it helps from kitchen to court, at the other end it helps from a smart town planning to a medical diagnosis. देखिए versatility. And anyone who's sitting in this hall can say that I'm not using AI. You go to any place, even the most illiterate person in the most underprivileged area, the most downtrodden section of the society, if he says I'm not using AI, you can give at least 10 examples that in this way you are using AI. So AI has become omnipresent. The pervasiveness of the AI, the versatility and the penetration of the AI has gone deep into our day-to-day life, and it will continue to further go deeper and deeper in our society. So AI has to be the way of life, but at the same time we have to realize that we people are to generate, we people are accountable to generate, responsible to generate little extraordinary attributes, so that we should always be ahead of the AI. And the AI should follow. It is not a human learning, natural learning. It's not a natural intelligence. It's a machine intelligence. It's an artificial intelligence. It is not a natural intelligence. So there always will remain difference between natural intelligence and artificial intelligence. And वो difference mark करने के लिए हमें और आपको ये realize करना पड़ेगा कि हम अपने काम में passion रखें, अपने काम में little extra add करें। और इसी वजह से मैं ये जब ये कहता हूँ, उसके साथ ये बताता हूँ the advanced researches which are happening in the area of large scale genomic sequences. I was going through the abstract which Professor Pandey has sent me, that number of papers, and the two notable things I have noticed. First, the majority of the papers are written by ladies. So women empowerment in the domain of computer sciences has always been in CCIT, and is coming in a big way. Most of the papers were written by ladies, and at least out of 3 authors, 2 authors, many of the places I have noticed the ladies. The second important, the good papers, and predominantly in the domain of AI, of course, the focal theme is AI. And in having said this, if you realize the advanced researches in large scale genomic sequences, coupled with artificial intelligence in general and machine learning in particular, is going to make each one of us CEO of our own health. इस तरह के wearable device तो आज आपको 10-15% सहूलत दे रहे हैं। आने वाले दिनों में ऐसे डिवाइसेस डॉक्टर्स की जॉब फॉर रूटीन प्रोसेस खत्म कर देंगे। रूटीन प्रोसेस की सर्दी खांसी जुकाम हो गया और हम डॉक्टर्स के पास जा रहे हैं, और डॉक्टर भी उससे हम एक अपॉर्चुनिटी ट्रीट कर रहा है, क्योंकि आज डॉक्टर सर्विस से ज्यादा एक अपॉर्चुनिटी ट्रीट कर रहा है कि वाह मेरा एक क्लाइंट आ गया, पेशेंट नहीं, मेरा एक क्लाइंट आया है, उस क्लाइंट को डील करना है। सर भी बहुत अच्छी बात कर रहे हैं। मैं जब थोड़ा लेट आया था रूम में कि जो कोविड इतना बड़ा डिजास्टर पूरे वर्ल्ड को फेस किया, वो कोविड क्या सचमुच कोविड था और उस डर के साथ हमें लेना चाहिए था, या कोविड को और बेटर तरीके से हम फेस कर सकते थे? तो प्रोबेबली वी वर नॉट फुल्ली प्रिपेयर्ड टू फेस सच काइंड ऑफ सिचुएशन। तो जब एआई आने वाला है तो एआई हम में से सबको सीईओ ऑफ आवर ओन हेल्थ बनाएगा। Many of the developed nations, if you read through the research papers in Europe and America, have started sensitizing to the routine doctors that if you are not super specialized, the artificial intelligence is going to replace you in a big way. That's the kind of the impact of the AI. The third important notable contribution which I am visualizing out of AI, because large scale cognitivity is happening, cognitive research is happening. And if cognitive research will be happening in a big way, probably carrying these smartphones will no more be required for a normal making a calls. Because a small interface on any of the wearable device, maybe a button, maybe pen, will be sufficient to make a call and start talking to Professor Prem Sahab. And that too, you just think that I want to establish a call, and the cognitive device will establish a call, and you can, hello, how are you? आज भी वो ब्लूटूथ लगा कोई छोटा सा रखता है, किसी को पता नहीं चलता, कोई आंख में डिवाइस नहीं, वो बात कर रही है, एक्सटर्नल इंटरफेस है। मैं कह रहा हूँ इंटरनल इंटरफेस कॉग्निटिव साइंस के साथ होगा। जिसके लिए एक बड़े लेवल पे हम ऑगमेंटेशन में, वर्चुअल रियलिटी में, ह्यूमन कंप्यूटर इंटरेक्शन में, ह्यूमन मशीन इंटरेक्शन पे काम कर रहे हैं। और वो अगर ठीक से हमारे पास आने लगा तो not too far, around 10 years down the line, we may not need to carry these kind of flagship smartphones. And like this, n number of applications. If you see last 10 years, software applications have disrupted almost everything in and around us. Till Industrial Revolution 3.0, we were talking about that technology model is revolving around the business model. Now, if you realize from Industrial Revolution 4.0 onwards, the kind of the digital transformation has come up, the kind of the pervasiveness of the computing technologies have come up in almost every process. Now, the technology models are almost same, but the business models have to change. Business models are evolving from Industrial Revolution 4.0 onwards around the technology model. Now, the point of sale, the customer experiences in terms of buying things and services have changed. 15 years ago, had anyone imagined that you will book Ola and it will come at your doorstep? Had you imagined that? The COVID has taught us many things, many changes. Had you imagined that you need not to visit any shop and you will get everything delivered at your doorstep? So the business models are changing. The technology model remained almost same and it will continue to change. It is going to further disrupt many of the traditional business models. So including academia. Wait for 10 years down the line, students will not come to your classroom. Forget about asking for 75% attendance and forget about asking that you sit in a notified, as per notified schedule of examination. Students will come and tell you, I'm interested in demand-based examination. I want to be examined in the month of June, second week. Take my examination in the June second week. Someone will come and say, no, these 4 papers I will give somewhere in August. And as a teacher, will have no choice. That's what is Education 4.0, a little glimpse of Education 4.0. So all these things are going to happen. My input to all of you that in this digital age, we have to believe in RISC. जो कंप्यूटर साइंस के लोग हैं वो जानते हैं, 2 आर्किटेक्चर है हमारे पास, एक CISC और एक RISC. CISC is complex instruction set computing, RISC is reduced instruction set computing. But when I'm talking this RISC, ये ना तो वो रिस्क है और ना ही RISC के रिस्क है. रिस्क का मतलब है कि 21st सेंचुरी में जिसके लिए डिजिटल एज डेफिनेशन ऑफ एजुकेटेड पीपल ये कहा जाता है कि लर्न, अनलर्न एंड रीलर्न इज द हॉलमार्क ऑफ डे टू डे लाइफ. You need to learn a technology, then you need to unlearn a technology, and then you need to relearn a technology. In that ecosystem, the bottom line for all of us will be the RISC, RISC. R stands for resiliency, I stands for inner strength, and S stands for strategic mindset, and C stands for collaboration. So collaborate, collaborate, and collaborate. With this, I have another address after this inaugural session. So otherwise I can keep on talking like this. So I would like to stop myself with 2 additional messages. First, whatever you are doing, if you are writing a paper, forget about the basic things, but understand and believe that the process of writing papers 15 years ago and the process of writing paper now have absolutely changed in the changing ecosystem. I have started a journal in the year 2009. 2007 I started a conference series continuing. This is the 19th edition is due now, and the number of papers we accept close to 1000. It goes to IEEE Explore, and the registration we receive close to 70 lakhs. That's the budget of the conference, and budget is around 85 lakhs. The registration only we receive around 75 lakhs. And second, I started a journal in the year 2009. 2016 November, a Springer Nature team from Singapore came to me and said that I want to take over this. And then I had to first negotiate. There was a kind of pleasure and happiness that a Springer Nature kind of publisher is coming and asking me that I want to take over your journal. But a kind of disappointment that if I give them the journal for some rupees, then my entire efforts will be almost wasted. So I had negotiated with them and I made them to agree on a co-publishing agreement. And since January 2017, that journal is being published by a Springer Nature from Singapore. Journal started by me at Bharati Vidyapith as founder editor-in-chief, is published from 2017 by a Springer Nature, is indexed at Scopus since 2017, is a free journal. 6 page के journal is a collaborating partner to your conference. 6 page का पेपर स्प्रिंगर के जर्नल में, स्कोपस इंडेक्स में एब्सोल्युटली फ्री छपता है. Because it's a new journal, so we discourage lengthier papers, because otherwise we'll have to compromise with many other authors who are also equally willing to submit the paper. So 6 पेजेस तक फ्री है, 6 पेज के बाद सिर्फ 2000 रुपए पर पेज एक्स्ट्रा पेज चार्जेस लेते हैं, एंड 10 पेज से ऊपर पेपर हम नहीं एक्सेप्ट करते. 10 पेज से ऊपर का पेपर, with this note we reject outrightly that please find it or some other journal who publishes, or where the publication is allowed for lengthier papers. So, and royalty, 10% royalty I am receiving from Springer. That royalty of the journal is around 65 lakhs. The 2024 royalty I have received 65 lakhs out of 10%. Imagine how much sale Springer is making all across the world. So, what I wanted to tell you that if you genuinely, passionately are involved in doing anything, the success will be yours. आप success achieve कर सकते हैं. Finally, with this note, would like to conclude कि किसी कॉन्फ्रेंस के सक्सेस या फेलियर इस बात से जज नहीं होगा कि हाउ गुड द स्पीकर्स वर, हाउ ऑर्गेनाइज्ड द सेशंस वर, हाउ गुड द पेपर्स वर. फाइनली इट विल बी जस्ट ओनली ऑन वन पैरामीटर, व्हाट वाज द टेक अवे. And take away, if not technical, could be just a collaboration, could just be a networking, could just be a kind of fruitful or significant interaction with someone. So if this conference make any changes in our day-to-day life than what we have been doing earlier and than what we'll be doing now, that will be considered only the takeaway. So with this note, would like to conclude. माँ सरस्वती से दिया जलाकर आशीर्वाद लिया है हमने, तो माँ हमें अंधकार से रोशनी की तरफ लाने की शक्ति दीजिए, हमें इग्नोरेंस से नॉलेज की तरफ लाने की शक्ति दीजिए. एआई कहता है सिंबॉलिक प्रोसेसिंग करना है, आपको डिक्लेरेटिव प्रोसेसिंग अवॉइड करना है. एआई में ज्यादातर चीजें सिंबॉलिक प्रोसेसिंग पे बेस्ड होती हैं. इस बैकड्रॉप में इस शेर को देखिए कि ये सारी एनालॉजी एक जगह सिमुलेट की है कि उजाले अपनी आंखों में महफूज कर लो. मींस की पावर ऑफ नॉलेज एज इंटीग्रल पार्ट ऑफ योर पर्सनालिटी. क्यों? बिकॉज इन एब्सेंस ऑफ पावर ऑफ नॉलेज there will be darkness, and darkness will bring along with it many challenges. जैसे ये स्टेप हमें फेस करना है, तो only with the help of the knowledge in light we can face it, otherwise we may fall down. So उजाले अपनी आंखों में महफूज कर लो, बड़ी दूर तक रात ही रात होगी, मुसाफिर हैं हम भी, मुसाफिर हो तुम भी, किसी मोड़ पे फिर मुलाकात होगी. Thank you so much. Wish you all the best. God bless you.
Sir, for sharing such inspiring thoughts with us. We take pride in introducing the General Chair, Professor S.K. Garg sir, a respected leader and key figure at Delhi Technological University. With a strong background in engineering and technology, Professor Garg sir has been instrumental in shaping the curriculum and promoting innovation in the field. His influence goes beyond teaching as he cultivates an environment where students are encouraged to think critically, address real-world challenges, and foster innovation. Known for his focus on practical knowledge and modern teaching methods, Professor Garg sir continues to inspire a new generation of thinkers and innovators. Now, we request sir to kindly enlighten the audience with his insight.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, student, for a nice introduction. Honorable Professor Premrat, the chief guest of the day for this inaugural function, and my PhD Guruji also. Professor M.N. Hoda, the guest of honor for today's event, and he has very nicely presented his thoughts in a very poetic manner. I hope you all have enjoyed that. The Director General, Shri Tyagi ji, Director of the Institute, Professor V.C. Pandey, all faculty colleagues, participants and dear students, it's my profound privilege to be here with you and given a privilege to be a general chair also for this conference, a very, very important conference in present day context that is on artificial intelligence, machine learning and cyber security. As Professor Huda said that nobody is untouched from these words of AI, ML, cybersecurity. Every day we are finding, even on radio, television also about cyber fraud, cyber this thing. So all of us are one way or another are connected with machine learning. Maybe some of you are not directly using it, but artificial intelligence, even if you Google it, Chrome, you will find first it will give you the answer about through the AI only. And you will find that answer to any of your queries so steep that उसके अंदर सोचते कि मैं क्या करूँ. that gives you such a good, beautiful information, comprehensive way. Nothing is left to you to do anything about that concept, idea, or any query which you are having. So that is a so powerful tool we are having, and we must use it. That was what I said, that we should not say that it has some fears or something. Yes, we have to. That's why they are very beautifully added cyber security along with that. So artificial intelligence along with cyber security, if we are using it, nothing is going to happen, nothing wrong is going to happen. But we should not be only using AI without ignoring cyber security. So we should keep in mind that there is a security threat, there are crimes, there are people who are working even more zeal and more passion to cheat you to something. So we have to take care of that. It's a very, very important area, and I'm coming from manufacturing side, from supply chain management side also. There also we are finding that whenever we visit certain site, you will find that we just even, sometimes we are having a thought or we discuss with friends, we will start getting the material on our phone in terms of advertisements or in terms of pop-ups about that particular area. So that's the kind of importance or kind of facility this technology is facilitating. In the morning, I was just thinking what to say about this, because this topic is so that every day in newspaper, all politicians, bureaucrats, everyone is talking about AI. So I thought that let me connect this particular AI with our NEP. We are now talking about NEP, and we are also talking about spiritualism also. So let me give you a small narrative about that, how these three things can go together. And from this narrative, we can develop the narratives in any other field of our knowledge, field of our requirements, or field of our research. Anywhere we can use it. In NEP, two important, those it has a big basket of policies and this thing. Let's take two small things. One is this multiple entry and multiple exits, and second is academic banks of credit. Suppose there is a student who has taken an admission in a 4-year program. After 2 years, due to some circumstances, maybe he is going for entrepreneurship, loan startup, or helping his parents, or due to financial constraints, due to health constraints, he drop out from that, and he said that I will continue. But later on, after 2 years, 3 years, he again thought of let me continue my degree. Now at this stage, he has certain now experience also, certain working in an area also. He said that now I want to complete my degree with these requirements. I want to learn something of financial, something about spiritualism, also something about this, something about my business, something. Now it is very difficult for him to find out what are the options available to him. He gives this input to the AI tool, and AI will work out for him. These are the courses available across the globe, and these are the admission times and other things and details and curriculum, etc. And out of this, you can make this as a basket to complete your degree. So first step which AI can help. And then he puts that, okay, how much time it will take, whether these courses are running or not running. Then he said that I want to complete my degree in next 2 years. Then again he will work out, AI will work out, okay, then you have to, again optimization. It will keep on optimization that given the time constraint, these are the courses which you can take up. Then he said that, okay, what is going to be my fees about that? It will work out the fees also for completing those courses. Then we said that, oh no, my budget is limited, so further it will prune the options and it will give you some idea about that. Now you have said that, now you are satisfied. Now that is AI what is happening today. Tomorrow, it will do the forward integration also. In supply chain, we talk about forward integration and backward integration. It will do the forward integration. You have picked up the courses, it will say, okay, good. You have picked up, now it will start filling the form on your behalf. Will seek the permission from the authorities on your behalf. Will pay the fees also on your behalf. Means from your account and other things and data. It will do that particular activity also. AI will do that implementation of your this thing also. Whatever decision optimization has come, it will start implementing that also. And not only that, now it will work out your schedule also, book the train ticket also, book the hotel also, or your accommodation also, keep on providing you the study material also. And when you reach there, it will provide a set of books also to complete that course also. So those kind of things also going to happen as a forward integration to that. So whatever things you are going to do based on that optimization which is done by the AI will further help you in executing those kind of thoughts also. So at the end, you are able to complete. Then we say that, let's see the backward integration, how it is going to happen in such kind of an environment. Initially, you have given some inputs based on your thought process. You have done some thinking that these are my requirements. That we call in software language boundary conditions to the optimization model. Now I have defined my own boundary conditions in this case. Now maybe tomorrow AI will do the backward integration also. Maybe you are thinking at a much higher level and then it will work out the boundary conditions also. Keeping your profile in mind, your thing in mind, you should work out in this particular. Your thoughts or your requirement will be like this only. And based on those requirements, even the requirement design is also done by the some kind of a tool. So it will work on your mind in the form of a thought. Also, mind in spiritualism, we say mind is doing three activities. One is the thinking, thoughts. In a day, 30,000-40,000 thoughts are coming to our mind. Some are useful, some are not useful, some are positive, some are negative. So it will do the thinking also for you in the coming times. Maybe our engineers or researchers who are working, are doing research, maybe they can start working on this also. So thought process also. At present, thought process we are giving to the software, to the AI tool, but tomorrow it may work on that aspect also. And then second is, we will say, three functions are done by the mind. One is the thinking, second is the decision making, intellectual work. This is what intelligence, artificial intelligence is doing, only the decision making part to decide about the several thoughts which is good for me to implement. And third is the karma, sanskar, etc., implementing what we have decided. So in that way, in coming time, maybe rather than talking artificial intelligence, we say artificial mind, which is performing all the three tasks: thinking, decision making, as well as the karma also, sanskar also is going to be influenced by this particular tool. So keeping that in view, maybe tomorrow we need more spiritualism at our command, so that we are able to direct or we are able to use these tools which are going to be much powerful as compared to what they are today. So that we are in a better condition. The basic problem which is happening today is adverse impact on the health because of these all technology gadgets, whether it's a mobile or something. Second is negative effect on our intellectual health. Sir was saying that hardly we are even not remembering the mobile number of our spouse. So that is earlier we used to remember maybe 30, 40, 50 mobile we are easily able. So that is because our intellectual or our this part is now taken hijacked by the technology. And third is our spiritual health, mental health. That is also somewhere getting adversely affected. So these are the things, means as the scope the technology will increase, as a human being we have to connect ourselves with some kind of a subtle world also and some kind of spiritual activities also. Only one part technology that has the way we are progressing through our technology, same way we have to keep a balance through understanding ourselves for some other spiritual leader will tell you more about that. But obviously we have to connect somewhere with our inner thing. Otherwise the technology will take you somewhere where it will be much disastrous to that. In operation research, I studied Professor Premrat way back in 1986. There also we say that when we are using the operations research models, optimization model, the most important thing we said that it's not the optimization which is important, that any tool can do that. The most important thing is how you are designing the problem, how you are designing the parameters of the problem. So same way here in AI also, whether you are asking the right question or not, that is most important. If you are if you are asking a wrong question, only AI will give you the wrong answer also, and then you say AI is not working. So it is very important that we should understand what are my requirements in operations. We say that what is my objective function. If you don't have the objective in using the AI, any answer is a good answer. Secondly, you must know what are the constraints in the system. Like here we said money constraint, time constraint, some other constraint. So you must identify before using the AI, what are my constraints, that you give very clearly to the AI tool or any optimization tool. To me, AI is nothing but optimization, which has a large subjective database is available, and out of that it will select the best which is useful to us. And third important thing is we should also know what are the alternatives. So AI is very good in exploring the alternatives, and then only we are able to use it. The second part is the optimization, and third is the how to use the results of that optimization, project implementation or implementation part. So that is also equally important. So you say 5% is optimization. First 50% is formulation of the problem, another 45% is implementation of the solution or suggestions given by the AI. So the whatever AI we are studying, that is only 5%. 95% is still with the human beings. AI is not going to think for you as on today. Maybe after 10 years, 5 years, it will start thinking. But again, if it is thinking, again it needs some high level input from the human beings only. Maybe the level has changed. Now we are giving a very broad thing. It will keep on working operational thing, but you have to give a higher order inputs to that. And similarly in the implementation also, it will do some implementation, basic rudimentary routine type, but ultimate what you want to achieve, that will come through the human beings only. So to me, AI is only 5%, 95% is still we the human beings. And so with this small thought, I close my talk here. Thank you very much for inviting me. I am thankful to the chairman of the institute, to and my friend Pandeyji and all faculty colleagues for inviting me and giving me a chance to meet all of you and share my thoughts on this very, very important topic, which is going to revolutionize, which is already doing it, and further it is going to impact our day-to-day life, our professional life, our academic life, where in whichever domain we are, it is going to impact you. And it's a blessing that I'm able to meet Professor Premendra sir also through this platform. So thank you all of you for patience.
Thank you, sir, for sharing such interesting thoughts with us. We are now delighted to present the chief guest, Professor Premendra sir, Pro-Chancellor of the Nordcap University, Gurugram, a distinguished academician, researcher, and visionary leader in higher education. Over a distinguished career spanning several decades, Professor Premendra sir has held key academic and administrative positions at some of India's premier institutions, including serving as the Director of IIT Roorkee, a Fellow of the Indian National Academy of Engineering, and an accomplished author. He has actively driven innovation and excellence in technical education. At the Nordcap University, his dynamic leadership continues to foster a vibrant culture of research, academic rigor, and holistic growth. We humbly invite you, sir, to kindly address the audience with your valuable and inspiring insights.
Mr. Yogesh Kumar Tyagi, Director General of this institute, Professor V.C. Pandey, the Director, the Guest of Honor, Professor M.N. Hoda, General Chair, Professor S.K. Garg, Professor Shalini Gupta, Deputy Director and Program Chair, faculty members, heads of departments, distinguished delegates, members of the organizing team, esteemed scholars, people from industry, ladies and gentlemen. It's my privilege to be present in person in this international conference, and Professor V.C. Pandey had been the person instrumental in having me here. As you know, in our academic lineage, I know that my Professor Garg was my PhD student, and he's his PhD student, so he's my academic grandson. And you know कि पोता बेटे से ज़्यादा प्यारा होता है. So he's been persuading me to be here. I was earlier coming in online mode. The advantage or disadvantage of being the last speaker is that कि जो कुछ बोलना था बोल दिया लोगों ने. और प्रोफेसर M.N. होडा ने जो समा बांधा है, मैं तो उसके कुछ भी आसपास नहीं हूँ. वो शायरी मुझे आती नहीं है. तारीफ I enjoy it, but I can't replace it. He has spoken very effectively. Actually, I speak better without reading. लेकिन मेरी जो आजकल है कि चैट जीपीटी का पहले मैं पूछता हूँ कि भाई मुझे वहाँ जाना है, स्पीच तैयार कर. वो मैं करता हूँ. फिर मैं इसलिए बोल रहा हूँ उसको कि मैं उसको ब्लाइंडली नहीं पढ़ता. फिर उसमें मैं अपने व्यूज डालता हूँ. फिर मैं कहता हूँ भाई इसमें ये बात और डाल दो. प्रॉम्प्ट एक्चुअली वन ऑफ द इम्पोर्टेंट थिंग दैट्स कमिंग अप नाउ इज प्रॉम्प्ट इंजीनियरिंग. Prompt engineering is what can make you make use of AI more effectively. जैसे क्लास में भी आजकल because of the is not dearth of information. That Google would be one of the greatest guru of other information than it. What we need to create in the environment, in the classroom, physical classroom, encourage our students to ask intelligent questions. That's the role of a teacher. And if you can encourage them to ask intelligent questions, we can collectively find answers using the help of technology. And therefore the entire teaching learning pedagogy has undergone a change in which teacher is not the information giver. I often say that the role of a teacher is now contained in the 3 letters IIT, which I spent my entire life in IT system. For us 62 years I am in ITM. I still teach in IT Delhi as an online professor. Involve, inspire and transform. So not information giving. Involve, that means process of participation between teacher and taught. Inspire. Now AI can't inspire you. That's why no AI can replace a teacher. So inspirational role of a teacher and encouraging the class to ask intelligent questions is an important thing. In the same, in the context of AI, prompting ChatGPT to ask, bring in features which are not given the answer given by that. So okay, bhai, isme aur ye dalo, and again I will tell you. So use it as a servant, a great thing. If you use it as a master, it will finish you. That's the way that you need to look at the technology. And therefore, शुरू में मैं जो ChatGPT ने बेचारे ने कुछ काम किया है वो पढ़ूंगा और बाद में अपने विचार उसमें जिसमें कंटेंट नहीं करूंगा. So it's conventionally therefore indeed an honor and privilege to be here as the chief guest of this conference. हालांकि मैं I must say that perhaps वो ChatGPT को मालूम नहीं था कि what a conference I'm going to. I actually आपके जो आपने डेटा भेजा मुझे उसमें 690 पेपर थे. अब जो बोला 717 पेपर हैं. That means you kept it open till the last day. जो उसमें accepted है 160 पेपर लिखे हैं लेकिन आपने बोला कि 196 पेपर हैं. So that's the flexibility that we have in organizing conferences in online mode. There are no last dates. But then what I must compliment the organizers, obviously the general chair, the program chair, and of course the head of the institution, the enormous quality of selected papers. Selecting 717 papers submitted to 196, the latest statistic this morning, almost works out to be a selectivity ratio of 25% or less. Even the best known journals are able to reach that level. So therefore my compliments to the organizers in creating an enormous amount of efforts in sifting through a huge response, and that's where the online has helped. If it was not online, to get a response of this magnitude is simply impossible, and that's where it helped you. But the process of selecting almost 25% of the papers submitted itself is a great challenge and is a great achievement. I compliment you all, and since these will be published in the process. I've also seen that much of the applications of these papers are beyond the conventional means engineering education. I found many applications are in the medical field, diagnostics, medicine, agriculture engineering, agriculture science, and therefore which means that AI is beyond any particular domain. And I'll come to that, and therefore to that extent, artificial intelligence has enormous potential but enormous dangers too, which I'll cover both of them. And ये एक्चुअली मुझे शायरी तो नहीं आती, तो लेकिन वो तो हौडा साहब ने सवाल बांध दिया. लेकिन जो नियर सवाल, मैं बहुत प्योर, मैं वेजिटेरियन हूँ, टी टोटलर हूँ, नॉन स्मोकर हूँ. फिर भी मैंने कहीं पे सुना था जो दारू पीते लोग तो बोला कि अगर मुझे पिएगा समझ के दारू तो तेरी 100 लोग मारूं, पिएगा मुझे करके शराब तो कर दूंगी खाने खराब. टेक्नोलॉजी की वो स्थिति है, एआई की वो स्थिति है. अगर इसको सही रूप में यूज करोगे इट विल मेक ए ग्रेट कंट्रीब्यूशन टू एनरिचमेंट. लेकिन अगर इसने ब्लाइंडली अपने आप को सरेंडर करके एआई को सौंप दिया तो फिर आप क्या करोगे? जब प्रोफेसर गर्ग ने बोला ये बुकिंग भी कर देगा, वो भी कर देगा घर में, तो आप क्या करोगे? Therefore to me the major challenge today is not the technological challenges in use of AI, it is the judicious, responsible and ethical use of AI. And that's where perhaps we need to address it very effectively, because what's happening, and to that extent, every technology has positive and negative aspect. If we use it to, and that's how we define engineering. Engineering is, and technology is the conscious application of science for the good of mankind. The good of the mankind is inherent in the definition of engineering. But if you forget about the good of mankind, the engineering can do, it can bring you disaster. And that's what some of the cyber crimes that you are facing. In fact, so much so that अभी मैंने होड़ा साहब को बोला मैं अपना जो सेल नंबर है मैं अपने विजिटिंग कार्ड में नहीं छापता और मैंने ये भी तय करा है कि अननोन कॉल में कभी नहीं उठाऊंगा क्योंकि आपने देखा क्या हो रहा है अननोन कॉल उठाने का so unless we have ethics, character and moral values, development in technology alone can be disaster to society. And if with that spirit, when I was the UPT Vice Chancellor of Lucknow after retiring from IT role as director, I perhaps was the first one to introduce a compulsory audit course in UPTU for all the 600 colleges of engineering and management that was human values and professional ethics. It's a compulsory course that was introduced. Without that, you will not get a degree of BTech or MBA. The reason was engineering and technology is not value neutral. If you are not governed by self-driven by ethics and values, and if you do not have strong values and ethical systems and responsible values, the same technology can be used for hoodwinking the society. तो वो टेक्नोलॉजी विनाश भी कर सकती है विकास भी कर सकती है और इसलिए unless we use technology for the good of mankind and for that we require strong values and moral values and ethics and unless we emphasize on that perhaps the role of engineering technology and all emerging AIs would be very very disastrous. I must also mention to you that AI कोई नई चीज नहीं है बेशक प्रोफेसर होडा ने नहीं बताया though he should have said so. पहली बार आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस 1955 में इस्तेमाल हुई थी. The word artificial intelligence has been actually talked about since 1955. But that time it was used for networking नहीं थी उसमें Wi-Fi नहीं थी इंटरनेट नहीं था. Therefore it was using for decision support system as an expert system to find out using the data and provide the decision maker and now possible options in a better way of solving problem, which indeed is, as Professor Garg mentioned, is the role of operation research. So from 55 till maybe 2015, AI was almost hidden and because कोई नया concept है नहीं. It is the power of internet and connectivity where you can reach the world multiplied with almost with the speed of light that the AI has taken a center stage. And its potential applications have been enormous. And so much so that, but then, AI अगर इसको पूरा देखें artificial intelligence, real intelligence तो नहीं है ना ये, कोई चीज artificial है, it should not replace real. The danger today is, in the name of AI, we run the risk of losing our real native intelligence. And if that happens, artificial intelligence in course of time will be disastrous to the society, because. But the moment we use it, and this way I often even suggested in my my discussions at various fora, it's time that we change the name artificial. क्योंकि कोई चीज artificial real हो ही नहीं सकती. सिर्फ artificial jewelry पहनते क्योंकि real में खतरा को लूट लेगा. इसलिए artificial पहनते. तो अगर इसको artificial intelligence ना कह के assistive intelligence कहे. It is assistive intelligence, which means not intended to replace the real intelligence, but provides us support, and that's what decision support system is supposed to be. It provides us support to make an intelligent and well thought of decisions, and therefore perhaps if we do that, but in the spirit of that, which means that the negative side effect of AI have to be kept in mind while looking at the positive. And this works out both. Even I saw in this question in the seminar, while it's enormous responses that you have, 717 papers in a conference located in a highly rural setting. It's only possible because of online and AI. लेकिन AI का दुष्परिणाम ये भी हो सकता है that AI can help you to generate a paper without ever knowing anything about that subject. Without knowing anything about it, you can prepare a paper. And therefore AI generated papers can be very, therefore you have to be also careful as an evaluator. And वही मैं प्रोफेसर होडा को बोल रहा था, it's time that we start making AI or Chat GPT as principal author of the papers. Because many times, apart from that, another feature that I'm noticing, including in your conference, the authors, as many as 9 to 10 authors in a paper. It's a very collaborative effort. Collaboration also, but there's also limited collaboration. because it's so difficult to find जो 10 ऑथर एक पेपर में है, किसने क्या किया है, हो सकता है किसी ने अपना लैपटॉप दिया हो और ऑथर हो गया, किसी ने वाईफाई प्रोवाइड करी ऑथर हो गया हो, because हर आदमी कहता है मुझे क्या मिला इसमें से. So if you start writing papers and authors based on consideration of this kind, perhaps the knowledge would suffer, knowledge will grow, but wisdom will go down. In fact, as Professor Hoda mentioned about knowledge, knowledge is not by itself an objective. एक साधन नहीं है, साधन है. In fact, there is a hierarchy. Data leads to information. Information leads to knowledge. Knowledge tempered with values, integrity, and good human values makes it wisdom. So therefore, our objective should not be generate knowledge, but have all pervasive wisdom in the society, so that we make use of that knowledge in the good of the mankind. So our objective in institutions of this kind should be to train, develop wise engineers, wise managers, so that they'll make use of their technological and managerial knowledge, not for hoodwinking the society for personal benefit, but for the good of the mankind. If therefore our objective changes to not simply gaining knowledge, but also aiming at wisdom, because once you are in the wisdom, wisdom can never have negative perspective. Knowledge can have negative perspective. Knowledge can be misused. Wisdom cannot be misused. And there was time that the educational institution aim at creating wise individuals, wise boys and girls, engineers and managers, or lawyers, whichever manner, because you cannot be a great engineer unless you're a good human being. You cannot be a great manager unless you're a good human being. You can't be a great teacher unless you're a good human being. And therefore, as a result, we need to create, change that paradigm from knowledge to wisdom. And the moment we make it wisdom, all possible potential misuse of the technology would vanish, because you cannot have wisdom by misusing technology for hoodwinking people in society. Another side effect which Professor Garg mentioned is a human brain is either use it or lose it. जो बताया इन्होंने कि 20-30 फोन नंबर फटाफट याद कर लेते थे वो डायल में, और मैं अपनी वाइफ का खुद का सेल फोन नंबर केवल क्रॉस चेक करता हूँ सही है कि नहीं. Now therefore what happens? Similarly, मैं आज टैक्सी वाले से सुबह आया, जब तक जीपीएस नहीं लगी थी, टैक्सी वाला अगर एक बार आपको पहुंचा दे अगली बार सीधा पहुंच जाएगा, और बिना जीपीएस को पता नहीं लेफ्ट को राइट को रुको. We have become slave of the technology, and if that happens, in fact it will not be good for this people, because human mind is only if you sharpen it, either use it or lose it. If you surrender to technology and stop using a human mind, that's why मैंने बताया कि मैं चैट जीपीटी से स्टार्ट करता हूँ, मैं इनिशियल फिजिबल सॉल्यूशन वहाँ से है, और दुनिया भर के करेक्शंस उसमें करता हूँ. फाइनली जो पेपर पढ़ता हूँ मैं, जब लेक्चर देता हूँ, वो मेरा होता है, चैट जीपीटी का नहीं होता. If you use it in that spirit, there's nothing wrong with it. जिसमें हम लोग एक किताब लिख रहे हैं, बहुत महत्वपूर्ण किताब है, जो खासकर देश के लिए बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, और हम लोग कर रहे हैं इसको. आई एम कॉलिंग इट द प्रिंसिपल ऑफ मिसप्लेस्ड एम्फेसिस. हम दुनिया भर के जितने फैसले ले रहे हैं, असली उसमें मुद्दा अलग होता है, जो ट्रिवियल ऑब्जेक्टिव है उसमें सारा जोर लगा रखा है. Where would the development come from? Therefore, हम उसमें क्या चैप्टर लिखा, फिर एआई से पूछते हैं कि भाई इसको ठीक से स्ट्रक्चर कर दो, कंटेंट मेरे हैं, स्ट्रक्चरिंग लैंग्वेज उसकी है. आई एम गिविंग दिस एग्जांपल. इफ यू यूज इट इन दैट स्पिरिट, इट वर्क्स वंडर्स. You see, convert my lecture, my chapter to in a literary sense. तो जो ग्रामर की इंग्लिश की लैंग्वेज है वो ठीक कर देगा, या इसको आपको राइटिंग में लीगल लैंग्वेज लिख देगा. So therefore, if contents are generated by you, and then use these assistive technologies for enhancing its quality, it will work wonders. And that's the symbiotic, use it as a symbiotic relationship between man and technology. And that's why in any system what's important, not technology alone, but people, process, technology and policies. If these people, process, technology and policies are integrated in a symbiotic relationship, the outcome would be phenomenal. The growth and development would be real direction. But if you surrender to the technology and ignore the people dimension, these negative side effect of this, example, जैसे बोला कि रूटीन जॉब सारी चली जाएंगी. अगर रूटीन जॉब चली जाएंगी और जो कंप्यूटर लेके हम क्या करेंगे, वो आपको लूटना शुरू करेंगे, आपको ठोकना शुरू करेंगे, और सर्वाइव तो करना ही उन्हें. Therefore, crime would increase. So we should not think of, our objective should be to meet the divine nature, the individual, the human being, is one of the most divine creation of God. Why we are considering them as a liability, not an asset? Because we are not invested in nurturing them. We are not invested in education adequately to make them great people. So it's time that instead of looking at people as liability, we start investing in them. So they become the most valuable assets to the society, and in the process, technology could help them to nurture, but never think of replacing them. I can never imagine an institution where a teacher ought to be replaced by either PPTs or NPTEL lectures or notes or AI or virtual teacher. To me, these tools and techniques can supplement the academic productivity of a teacher. But the value system, the sanskar, the very presence of a great inspiring teacher in the classroom can make a tremendous impact on the students, and therefore, as a result, even educational institutions which think of replacing teachers with the help of AI perhaps are not on the right track. Our teachers, to me, is the biggest single asset to the educational institution is having a great quality teacher. As Professor M. N. Hoda said, an outstanding teacher, a single outstanding teacher can make a tremendous difference in changing the very nature and the culture and the sanskar of a college. And therefore, we should look at it in that spirit and aim at nurturing teachers. And I believe that everyone has the potential to be nurtured. You don't have to have. And to me, institutions like IITs, which I spent my lifetime, are not the places where you expect the growth. In fact, AICT chairman very recently said the future of development in this country is not coming from IITs. Reason being, if a teacher can transform a relatively weak student into an outstanding, and it can happen. Your contribution as a B or a C category engineering college to the society is much more than an institution which picks up top 1% of the cream and at best allows the value addition to be there instead of degradation. Although there degradation to 90% people are committing suicide. Therefore, don't look at your role as a type 2 or tier 3. But what's important, challenge is great. Pick up the best possible teacher, allow them to perform, give them respect. A great teacher doesn't come for money alone. In fact, I've been teaching an honorary professor at IIT Delhi. I still teach for the last 19 years after retired. I don't charge a single rupee from IIT Delhi. I take every week a lecture. I don't even charge a travel. Because to me, if I can continue to use my knowledge for improving the society, and this way since अभी मैं प्रोफेसर देशमुख जी के साथ मैं कोशिश कर रहा हूँ, सारी क्लास कह रही है कि अगले आपके बिना आपके क्लास में भी तो देशमुख की चिट्ठी आई, अगले साल भी पढ़ाऊंगा मैं. So a teacher should not think of money, but a great teacher, and which I am addressing to the Director General Sahab and maybe the owners, what you should aim at, the psychic income. A faculty member needs to be respected. He must feel that he is respected, is wanted in the system. There is a feeling of respect, freedom, and not to be treated as an employee. To me, a teacher is an important building block for nation building. The moment you start taking as a teacher as an employee, the spirit of education is lost. I'll never like to work at a place where I'm treated as an employee. But if it's part of a bigger nation building process, which all teachers are, it can make a tremendous impact. And that's where use these technologies. Now, another important point that I wanted to make, which is for the engineering education per se. AI and computers on one hand have done wonders. On the other hand, they ruined core engineering. Core engineering, mechanical, civil, electrical, chemical, mining, is finished particularly in the private engineering institutions because these are expensive and everybody likes to study only computers and IT. As a result, I cannot imagine an institution, a country where growth and development takes place without capable mechanical engineers, capable civil engineers, capable mining engineers, and then what do we do? When the entire demand is for AI and IT, which I said this way back when I was chairman of an HRD in IT, in Ministry of Information Technology, when I was vice chancellor of PTO, कि भाई जो खत्म ये IT की बीमारी कब शुरू हो गई थी? मैंने कहा दोनों को IT और AI is an enabling technology. Enabling technology should not become instrumental in replacing core technologies. So what is the answer? The synergy of the two, and therefore to me, तब मैंने बोलता IT enabled mechanical engineering, मैं कहता हूँ AI enabled mechanical engineering, AI enabled civil engineering, AI enabled chemical engineering, and therefore where core engineering and AI work together in a symbiotic relationship, the canvas of AI and IT would be multiplied manifold without negatively eroding core engineering. And the moment our engineering educators start looking from that perspective, and the AI would make the quality of education much less, the quality is better, but cost much less. Therefore, as a result, if we use symbiotic relationship between AI and core engineering, only then the country will grow. Otherwise, we'll be buying technologies from outside. हमने 63,000 करोड़ के भी राफेल प्लेन लिए, 26 प्लेन 63,000 करोड़ के. हमारा एजुकेशन बजट पूरे देश का 78 करोड़ है, 7,000 करोड़. So 78,000 crore for the entire education, 63,000 crore for 28 Rafale. If we invest this money in education, right quality education, brilliant scholars, innovative researchers, perhaps the need to import from them would not arise in due course of time. It's time that we need to address issues in this perspective. So therefore, to me,
is the deep regards and hearty